Something very fun to show you. Did anybody go to Chase Pride? Yeah. Did we have a good time? Yeah, you gotta say it, the organisers are here. Yeah! My favourite thing, the donuts. No, it was really, really fun. It was really, really fun. And if you spoke to the right bartender, they'd forget that they'd served you a free drink already. But one of my actual highlights, Siski spotted this. You might have seen the video on our social media. They actually made something for us. Would you like to see it? Yes. We've never been this loved. There's this room they're trying to charge us fucking cleaning fee. Okay, so we've never had this, but they made us our own flag. Oh. How cool is this? Right, not in pride colours. We said you still have to pay us, but we also want the flag. We hang up in bolts one day, you know. I do have an issue with pride flags, but we're short on time, and I'll talk about it later. Are we ready for another act? Woo! We have got another northern for folk. Are you northern or are you from the north? Yeah. You are northern. Do we need subtitles for this one? No. Some people are like... amazing, right, can we get the whooping and the cheers time? Woo! Can we go to the stage? David Virica!
Hello. So yes, my name is Nathan Virica, and as you can probably tell from the way I'm dressed, I'm a failed musician. Yeah. Don't know if any of you in here tonight have dreams of your own. I mean, we're all getting here pissed on a Monday night, so of course you don't. But if you do try and make a success of it. Otherwise, well, this could be you in a few years' time. I think the biggest difference between musician me and comedian me is that when I was younger, musician me used to think that wearing sunglasses indoors was cool. So you'd see, you know, in a lot of my profile pictures that I have sunglasses despite clearly being indoors, and used to think I look like a dog's bollocks. Whereas now I look back at it, think, oh, what were you doing? And I look at musicians now who do wear sunglasses indoors, and you know the kind of people I'm about. You know, Bono. Axl Rose, Stevie Wonder. Absolute pricks. On a loosely musical related note, don't know if you remember, the new year started with the latest series of The Masked Singer, thus immediately removing any hope that 2023 was going to be any less shit than 2022. Don't know if you can tell, I'm not really a fan of The Masked Singer. Never been able to sit through a full episode of it. But whenever I've seen sort of clips of it, it's always been Joel Dommett shilling it with the same line. He goes, "The greatest kept secret in television history." Yeah, I think Jimmy Savile thinks that's Jimmy Savile, man. One of the worst things ever to come out of Leeds. Arguably second only to the Kaiser Chiefs. We also had the Brit Awards around the same time. I don't know about anyone else, but my favourite Brits memory from recent times was when Madonna fell flat on her ass a few years ago. And I'll say that as a fan and, you know, connoisseur of watching videos of old women. But if I remember correctly, she was felled by that massive cloak she was wearing, wasn't she? And to this day, I still don't think she should have worn that cloak to perform. I think she should have stuck to using that cloak for its original purpose, concealing the children she's stolen from Africa. of the end of last year, sticking with ITV actually, fittingly enough. End of last year, we had the latest series of the Australian version of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And this I actually did watch, because I do like that show, and I thought Boy George in particular was great on it, particularly during the Bush Tucker trials. I thought he, overcame everything that was thrown at him, and I thought he absolutely smashed it. And for me it was quite wholesome, and it made a nice change to see Boy George beating something that wasn't handcuffed to a radio. Also enjoyed the nostalgic touch of sending Matt Hancock into the jungle. Specifically nostalgia for the days when Britain used to send all its worst criminals off to Australia. Which brings me neatly on to your friends and mine, the Tories. Yeah. The lineup may have changed in recent months, but they remain the most dreadful party seen in Britain since that one at Michael Barrymore's house about 20 years ago. And it's not just the Tories themselves that are the problem. I don't know how many of you in here tonight are on Twitter. Obviously I am, because you kind of have to be if you're a comic, and you seem like mostly quite a young crowd, but it's all the Tory defenders, all the militants. I think, yeah, you're not, you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? Just some of the absolute worst people you could presumably wish to come across. I mean, I came across this really nationalistic Brexity one not so long ago. And if you're on Twitter, you'll know the sort of thing I'm talking about, several Union Jacks and St George's crosses in his username, banging on about Britishness, despite apparently not being able to spell a single word of English correctly. 7 followers, even fewer teeth, you get the idea. And I had a quick look on this guy's bio, and in it he's proudly boasting that he used to be Amy Winehouse's bodyguard. Yeah, you fucking nailed that job, didn't you, pal? What was the next gig? Robin Williams' psychotherapist. I've got the notes in my hand, I'm going to line the mood briefly. Just sort of been working on some one-liners recently. I've come up with this one, I'm quite proud of it. We'll see what you think of it. I was recently offered a job out of the blue, in which apparently I'd be selling wonders of the ancient world to the general public. But in the end I turned it down, it sounded too good to be true. So I did like it might be some sort of pyramid scheme. Right, back to the dark shit. But this next one does raise an important point, I think. So it's sort of about charity and philanthropy, that sort of thing. A friend of mine came over for dinner the other day, and we were sat eating our dinner in front of the telly. When one of those charity appeal adverts came on. And if you've seen them, you'll know it's the usual horrendous sort of thing, starving kids with no clothes on, flies buzzing around their faces, drinking dirty water, that sort of thing. And my friend says to me, he goes, do you know, I really hate how they keep showing these adverts when people are having their tea. But I kind of thought about this for a second, and I thought, well, they probably do that deliberately, don't they? And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. The contrast, look at how much these kids are suffering, and look at what you've got. And I, for one, am really glad that they choose to show these adverts while people are having their tea. Because it's far easier for me to hide my erection when I've got a dinner plate. So, the Women's World Cup. Don't know if you saw it. a few weeks ago, of course, the Lionesses narrowly losing out to Spain in the final. Obviously, a great effort. And Prince William got into a load of shit because he didn't fly out to Australia to watch the final, did he? And I have a theory as to why Prince William didn't fly out to watch that final. It's because it would have been a pain in the arse, but not enough of a pain in the arse for the thought of it to sexually arouse him. I'm glad high treason doesn't still carry the death penalty. And of course last year was the Men's World Cup in Qatar. And I have to say, I watched that and I was quite disappointed with the England fans in particular, because I thought they might come up with some more wholesome and imaginative chants in an environment where they weren't allowed to drink alcohol. Who are you? Who are you? Because I'm genuinely interested to learn about your background and your culture. The referee's a wanker, and that's okay, because masturbation is perfectly healthy and natural. And of course, for those of you who watched it, final came down to France against Argentina, which was quite a thrilling game as someone who did watch it. And I have to say, throughout, there seems to be this really incredible, tense atmosphere inside the stadium, because it was haunted by the ghosts of all the migrant workers who died You know it's true. One other brief note on sports. Lewis Hamilton, looks like he's failed to win an 8th Formula 1 World Championship. Lewis Hamilton, a man who decided at a young age that he wanted to drive a Formula 1 car for a living, and later turned vegan in an effort to combat climate change. The environmental equivalent of giving your son a rape alarm after you've already sent him off to a Catholic boarding. Yes, I was really enjoying this. Queer as Joke, I've heard some good things about it. It's a pleasure to be here in front of you tonight. And I did my homework beforehand. I actually found some reviews of Queer as Joke, so I knew what I was, so I knew what I was getting into. And it was great stuff, you know. What a great night. That was Rosie Jones, who's on television. Cried multiple times laughing. That was from the Sagittarius. It is an abomination, and one day Almighty God will strike them down, and these depraved heretics will spend eternity burning in the fires of hell. That was from the Westboro Baptist Church. Yeah, I thought, I know there's probably been some American references, British. Can't get one in for you there. But yeah, I'll finish on a personal story of mine. A couple of, it wasn't so long ago, roughly about a year, I wasn't actually doing so well physically or mentally, and I actually spent some time in hospital. And for those of you who haven't had it, I'll sum up the hospital experience for you. There was one afternoon in particular where I was just sort of rousing from an afternoon nap, and going on smell alone, I assumed that one of the other patients on the ward had just used the commode. But then I sort of woke up a bit more and realised that it was actually dinner time. And what I could smell was the hospital food. Now, in a cost of living crisis, being in hospital is the one time where you don't get offered a free hot meal. and it will elicit the response from you, "I'm good, thanks, I've got some Monster Munch." But on the second day I was in there, this was when the big thing happened. A guy in my ward actually died. He was an old and confused man. I never caught his name, didn't really know his story, but yeah, I basically watched the whole thing unfold, watched the man die just opposite me. A couple of hours later, I really needed to clear my head, so I tried to go into one of the, the toilet cubicles on the corridor, and I accidentally walked in on another old man having a shit. He hadn't locked the door properly. Most things were fiddly, to be fair. So I backed out. Had seen everything, but headed down the corridor to use the other cubicle. And it was while I was in there that I really started to think hard about the events of the day, not just the shitting man I'd just seen, but also the guy whose life I'd just seen come to an end. And these thoughts were just, going through my mind. And have you any idea how difficult it is to have a wank when you've got I think what I'm trying to say, in a sort of roundabout way, is save our NHS. Good luck.